International benchmarking competitions, also called challenges, have become fundamental for the validation of biomedical image analysis methods. Many exciting challenges are organized in a variety of disciplines like surgery, radiology, or pathology. There's a challenge on gastrointestinal image analysis, for example, where the task is to detect polyps in endoscopic videos. Another challenge is on segmenting and tracking moving cells in time-lapse video sequences. The machine learning models used to solve these tasks have gotten more complex. Alongside this development, the scientific impact of challenges, for example measured in terms of citations, has increased substantially. Despite this impact, little effort has so far been put into investigating what can be learned from a challenge. The specific questions are manifold. Do challenges really generate scientific progress? What are common and successful participation strategies? What makes a solution superior to a competing method? In the following, we'll present our paper that will hopefully give you some answers. But first, we have to add another question to the list. Why does our paper have so many authors? The answer? In a minute or two. Let's take a look at one of our first observations that triggered our study. You can see a leaderboard based on the kidney and kidney tumor segmentation 2019 challenge dataset, with the best performing method ranked first on the left and the worst performing method ranked 100 on the right. Below, the used architecture is encoded in purple. You can also see that both the winning and the last ranked method were using a 3D unit-like architecture. Clearly, what distinguishes them is not the architecture, so what is it then? Finding an answer is less straightforward than it may seem, as the relevant details may not be contained in the corresponding publications. These often only focus on descriptions of architecture and neglect other aspects of a method, such as data augmentation or data splitting strategies. So how can we shed light on the question, why is the winner the best? Our solution was a huge team effort. We decided to obtain the relevant information by requesting challenge participants to provide structured information on their participation strategy along with their submission. So 2.5 years ago, we asked all organizers of competitions conducted at ISBI and MICCAI 2021, the two biggest medical image conferences, to join our mission. And we were overwhelmed by the positive response. All organizers of the 80 different competitions agreed and adapted their submission process for this paper. A big thank you to all of them, and of course, also to the winners and participants of these competitions. So, first mystery solved. That's why we have such a long list of co-authors. Our survey to challenge participants comprised more than 160 questions in 5 categories: team composition and expertise, compute infrastructure, software frameworks and tools, strategy for the challenge, and algorithm characteristics. You can find the detailed results in our white paper by following the QR code. Before we move on to the winners, let me highlight some surprises. Firstly, only 19% of the teams had a domain expert involved, and only 25% of the respondents perceived the infrastructure to be a bottleneck. A new insight was also that knowledge exchange is the primary participation incentive. This will most likely differ on platforms like Kaggle, in which prize money and achieving a high rank are expected to be substantially more important. Lena, my supervisor, was most surprised by the fact that k-fold cross-validation on the training set was performed by only about a third of the participants. Most participants trained on the full training set without ensembling. You find all details in the manuscript, so let's focus on the winners now. We ask ourselves, can we derive the rough ranking of a method given its design decisions? We approached this question in 2 ways. First, we linked the results of the survey on challenge participation characteristics to the final outcome of the competition, and subsequently applied mixed model analysis. Given the large number of parameters relative to the number of competitions, however, we were aware that differences in parameters might not achieve statistical significance. In a second step, we therefore explicitly asked challenge winners for successful algorithm design choices and strategies. Let's start with the general strategies. We asked the winners to rate potential strategies for winning a competition. Here they are ordered by the number of times they were rated crucially important and very important. And the distribution of importance is shown for each strategy. Interestingly, one of the top 3, reflecting the metrics and the method design, was also the most important strategy according to our mixed model analysis. Of note, Both winners and non-winners spent the same median working time of 80 hours on method development, but winners dedicated twice as much time on failure analysis. Winners assembled heterogeneous models 2.5 times as frequently as non-winners. Further recommended strategies in free text answers comprise the inclusion of non-deep learning approaches in the model ensemble, explicit determination of a time management strategy, test time augmentation, and preferring matured architectures over brand new hyped machine learning methods. At this point, we also want to ask you, the audience, what is your experience with these strategies? Are any key strategies missing? If you are starting new, would you follow these recommendations? Do let us know in the comments. Let's take a look into the winning design decisions now. We are surprised that almost 2/3 of the winners based their method on multitask learning. This training strategy was applied more frequently by winners than self-supervision. Interestingly, winners rated post-processing as highly important and applied it much more frequently than non-winners. It was even regarded as more important than the tuning of hyperparameters. Finally, one crucial question from our initial trio of questions is left. Do challenges actually generate scientific progress? According to the responses of challenge organizers, only 43% of the winning algorithms exceeded the state of the art. More importantly, we asked them, are the problems solved? Unfortunately, according to them, that's not the case for the majority of competitions. So how can we move forward? Our study also unearthed a number of pressing research questions to yet be tackled in the field of biomedical image analysis. You can find a detailed overview in our paper. Maybe you would like to tackle some? The questions range from better integration of clinical context data in neural network solutions to achieving generalization across biomedical devices, protocols, and caregivers. We are sure there's something interesting in the list for you. One of the key remaining issues actually concerns the validation design. According to our analysis, standard metrics such as IOU or accuracy often do not reflect the underlying biomedical interest. If you want to see further papers with many authors, take a look at these two. The International Metrics Reloaded initiative has set it as its goal to provide metric recommendations for image analysis validation and has released a framework that guides researchers toward choosing suitable metrics in a problem-aware manner. Do check it out. Feedback from the community is always appreciated. Thank you for watching.